Hey guys, how you guys doing? Sorry, it's been like 5 days or whatever since I last communicated with people. Yes, I am still alive, and this one we're gonna be talking about. I just got in a big fight because I can't shut my mouth, and everybody knows how that is when they can't shut their mouth and when they're being on edge or whatever it might be. Um, so I went over to the family's house. It was awesome, right? I went over there to have dinner and then I'm doing laundry, watching a TV show. Obviously, the TV show is a part of my situation that's come up, and it's good to still be alive. Obviously, um, this was a fight with my father. Um, so after I had my vegetables, vitamins for the day, um, I woke up and then came over there and all that. So then, well, laundry took a long while, so because of the show, it seemed to impact one change. And I can tell you that I don't think I want to ever watch that show again. But I'm not ashamed to watch it, knowing that basically everything in that TV show is everything that's going on, troubles wise, at least at the beginning. So, have you ever had a conflict with someone and then all they do is basically tear you down and then put you in a headlock and then try to choke you to death because they're basically cursing to death inside and all they want to do is try to get their revenge? And, well, even killing me is not going to end. It's the worst thing that people can do. Well, after the fight, um, Dad starts videotaping me because he thinks it's funny. So he's trying to mock me and make me feel upset and disappointed, just like always. But the deeper into that understanding was is I got spanked today, right? And well, after that tussle internal, people are gonna end up fighting with people in this world, and they're gonna think that they got to turn their back on them just because they're in your face or whatever. I went over there to get money, to do laundry, to leave, and well, I'm obviously cut, um, and my body's obviously numb. It's traumatized. My family says that they aren't explosive. Well, then this happens, and it seems to, well, seems to be an addiction that we all can't break as people in society or life groups. He wants me to go back to this life group. He wants me to go back to church. He wants me to do things. And I mean, that's cool. Like, that's something I need to do. But there's a possibility that there is more to this story than just saying, you know what, it's two people, it's two children, and adult bodies that are acting very insane. And the other video, I'll talk about that one. And that one, I go into a lot more detail on why I started. And I guess for first, it's time to blame me for everybody's obviously doing. I didn't think I was going to get in a tussle tonight, and then getting in a headlock, and then obviously not being able to breathe after it. It can kind of, you start questioning if this was intentional or if it was just something that they just wanted to do and get you into a big mess or whatever. Well, I don't take drugs anymore. I've obviously over 60 days of not drinking. There is temptations that are starting to show that I'm not the person who I want to be, and I'll talk, like I said, in the next video, which would be about an hour or so for away. Everything's my fault, and I take full responsibility for my actions. But then getting called by a police officer, thinking it's nothing. they threatened to take me to jail. And, they don't like it when me and my family fuss and fight over stupid things, whether it's money or whether we're going after fame or whether we're even going after each other. It's all going to tell you that I come from the wrong side of the tracks, and I come from a part of town that is it's not good, right? And so if you wear red and part where I grew up, or I guess where my personal dad grew up, my real dad, my biological dad and stuff. From there, it's explosive issues that have to do with drug use before that are starting to take its course on, well, in my life and all family's life all over the globe. But it's always good to at least sit down and talk to someone about it. And, like obviously getting that phone call, like from the officer, it's going to, it's going to be a little bit nerve wracking because nobody, scuffs after a big scuff fight, discovers that a police officer is going to have to maybe take them to jail for the night because they think that I'm a bad problem. I'm a reason that everything is going on the street or whatever. I've obviously haven't been following the rules. Like I've been pulled over by even police here and there, and it's random. And they're not coming to be best friends with me. They're coming to make sure that I'm okay, like on a personal level. And if there's anything that they could do, or if I need to go to the doctors or whatever. Yes, it was over a year ago. Yesterday, 2 days ago, on the 29th, I went to the hospital, and I don't really care about that because I was obviously drugged up in some way, shape, or form and not knowing it. And then getting put in the handcuffs and then having the all these different medical history cars. So I guess sirens are coming over. They're checking on me at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. They think this is a funny game. This officer he's not going to play around. He thinks I'm obviously a very bad kid and I need mental help and pills, right? And even though that this is going to go on with me and my family, they said if I go over there, it's only just to sit down with them to make sure that everything's okay on their end, to leave, to do laundry. And, I can't blame anybody because I can only blame myself. I look at myself in the mirror and I don't even know the person I am. Going to these meetings every Wednesday for 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, over a month, it just kind of shot through me to where it was like, what's the point of even being here, right? And on those special days, I think that I need to just take it clean, take a rest, and just relax. But I don't get a rest over there. And living this life, it's not something to be boasting about. It's something that I have to live with a rain cloud, a sadness, a disappointment in my life, not knowing what is real and what's fake, not knowing if it's part of my past or if it's history that is just repeating itself constantly. I could have avoided this at all costs, but they throwing me under the bus. They're telling my coach things now. Now it's just an ongoing battle. They think I'm a liar, a deceiver, a person, and I'm not gonna deny that, and I'm not gonna boast and all that, but it is to the point where now it's getting out of my hand. And if an officer has to obviously call me and tell me that I'm about to go to jail for everything I've been doing. I haven't been following the streets like I've been supposed to. I've been obviously drifting. I've been doing things that I shouldn't do. This is a funny game, right? Well, this is not a game anymore. This is real life, right? And getting choked taught me a lesson that, you know what? You want to poke the bear? You want to tell people that they're wrong? Go ahead and tell them, because in their wrongdoing, you come out on top no matter what the questions are, because the person that has to run their mouth is the person that is most likely 99 or 100% sure that is going to either get caught or the guilt is then going to start building up. And what I'm going to be talking about in the other one is personal struggles that I can't seem to break every single day of my life. And that this all starts since I got saved, right? At 12 years old, I get baptized, and it's January 31st, right? And now it's 6 months later, whatever. And, I'm already on my 13th year, 14th year of going into it. And, I don't feel ashamed. I don't feel ashamed for getting mad. I don't feel ashamed for anything. I'm comfort. I'm joy just the way it is. But it's distant. It's discipline that you have to take into responsibility for your own action, right? If I take discipline to hurt someone and all they do is hurt me back with trauma, I don't trust anybody. I can't end up telling people that I need a pill or if I need to be in the hospital or whether I need to be in a jail cell. I almost live in one. So what's the point, right? Well, my family thinks that I'm just a baloney cracker and I'm bullshitting everybody and I don't know anything. I'm a liar, deceiver. I'm acting out because I need attention is what they say. They think that I need pills, whatever, and then they also say that if I take pills, that it's an ongoing battle, which I can obviously see that is a plus. When I was drinking so much, it was an ongoing. It was even worse. Like I couldn't even think straight. I obviously was going out of my way to call every single person on my phone and in my contacts and seeing them where I could end up staying for the day or whatever. And now I can't even, I got to a point where I can't even spend time with them. And my family is going to say that I'm a Pacific liar and I can't do anything right. And I obviously can't get a job in their eyes. I've done it before, but then they get ashamed of me and then they start blaming me for 99% of their issues. And, they have issues just as much as they are not willing to take their medicine. Like I have been taking my medicine the last 2 days. And very scared, right? And so even though that I'm scared of all this, I'm not scared to go to jail and I'm not scared to even go to the hospital for there. And, they're not even going to care, right? The person that cares enough is willing to go out of their way and say, you know what, I realized that I was angry, I was frustrated, something conflicted me and it has whatever, but we don't see that in life. We don't see that ever. We think that we should, as a culture, we should blame these people, and I need to be blamed for everything of their issues. Well, even though that maybe 2-3 hours later they apologize, I can't accept my dad's apology because he's in the wrong, right? And I don't care what even an expert, a doctor, a psychologist, whatever it might be, says, because a man says that he's right in a man's eyes, and I can't deny that. I can't deny anything that they've said. All I can say is when they're now mocking me and telling me and reaching me to a point where now it's starting to get out of my hands and it's also almost in heading back to jail or a court case, dad wants to puff himself up and demand 99% of everything is blamed on me when even my brothers and my family, my own mother, doesn't believe in me to even get a job. And then I finally get a job and then they finally put their foot through my rectum and there's a bunch of reasons why. Now, I don't need to explain myself because every single day we get a restart as long as we wake up and there's a worth, right? Well, I don't have to sit in the dark doing everything to try to make my family's life horrible. I can just do that just by watching a movie, a TV show, talking to people up on Facebook that are not real. And I don't know who's real anymore. Have you ever gotten to a point in your life where you just regret all your issues? You feel guilty 900 all the time, and you never even feel like you never feel happy. That's what a rain cloud is. That's the identification and whatever, and I can show you what's wrong with me. Just watch every single video on my channel and you'll know there's not something wrong with just me. There's everything is wrong with the person that is willing to put the wrong information out there. Now, I give my dad props because putting me in a headlock is 100% insane, and it's not people aren't going to praise him. He comes from the wrong side of one part of tracks that if you do them wrong, they shoot the dad or our grandmother just shoots people. Okay, that's a little bit extreme, but that's where this family comes from. I come from the tracks that you do me wrong, who knows what's going to happen. I'll pray for you. I'll pray for my dad. I'll pray for my mom's situation. But with their pill popping and my dad's alcoholism now starting to be extreme, now you start questioning what is real anymore and what is fake. I believe that everything I'm saying is 100% accurate. And you know what? I don't have to end up denying it. Even though that I got in a tussle, we've been tussling since we were kids. And, ever since that, it's like my brother used to do it. And now my brother's fighting with me and now requesting that I should go to this Garfield movie. Well, after my dad's doing that, they think that I'm just making this stuff up. Go ahead, believe what you want, because we're all lying and we're all deceiving until we end up trusting what Jesus has done on that cross for us. No questions asked. Yesterday, we had this appointment with people, and it's kind of like a church trip, right? Well, my dad was saying some very interesting, very touching things that I don't even know what is real, right? I don't know what's real. I don't know what's true. I don't know what is it, right? It's just the way it is. I can't change his mind. He gave the exact answer that I thought was interesting, and then he starts fumbling the ball at the 1, at the 10, at the 15, at the halfway, at the 50-yard line, right? And even though that you're halfway down the field, you're going to lose the game, right? They demand me to go and play sports. I'm not going to let them demand me to do anything anymore, right? Until they're ready to take action for their responsibility, their actions, and their rejoicing. They've not once in the last few months that I know of said, you know what? We're excited to end up having you as a family member. Not one time that I know of. Maybe back in January, maybe back in March, but the last 2 months, nothing. We seem to be a roller coaster ride. Dad says, how many times do I want to basically get the wrong answer until I go to Jesus, right? Jesus has all the answers, but is it wrong for a father and a son to fight? It's wrong. It's disappointing. It breaks God's heart. It breaks his heart. It breaks mom's heart. Everybody is in the wrong. Everyone. Both parties are guilty. Not only does he want to film me, now he wants to react, and then boom, I'm starting to walk away. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm all done. And then he comes and attacks me and thinks it's funny. Right? He starts laughing. They seem to think that I'm the reason and the problems why I'm the only one that does anything. Now, everything I'm saying here is everything that's extreme, right? They told me that if I go to therapy, that I would never end up finding Jesus. What universe does that say? Where does it say that? Where? If I go to therapy, I'm not going to find Jesus. You can find Jesus on that cross. He died for my actions. He died for my stupidity, my stupidness, my ugliness, my disappointing of every single person in this America, all over the globe. No matter where I go, I'm either breaking hearts in relationships or I'm tussling with family, right? And if I'm not tussling, I'm at the gym. And if I'm not at the gym, I'm sleeping. If I'm not sleeping, Well, I guess I'm out of options, right? Maybe I'm back at the smoke shop in the middle of nowhere. But they say that if I keep vaping, then I'm going to have cancer. Well, okay. It's the 21st century, mom. You don't know anything, right? I'm going to have cancer no matter what if I keep going this way. I'm going to die eventually. And you know what? That day, my whole family will rejoice and they'll be having margaritas and they'll have a campsite. They'll still do everything. They'll be wishing that I was there to cause a little bit of shame. And I can't get along with my sister-in-law. I can't get along with my older brother because obviously we just have our differences. We all come from the wrong side of the tracks. We all come from a point of view that if you do us wrong, you'll have to pay for it. And meaning like you have to come and apologize for your actions. But my dad, how can I forgive him? God's forgiven me, so I gotta better forgive him, right? Well, if all he's gonna do is kind of up one me every single day, what's the point, right? What is the point of even trying anymore? The point that I'm trying to say is everything that I've been saying on my channel here, everything I've been saying, no matter where it is, it's 100% true. Dad's tried to. He smacked me in the head back in January on the 8th, before his birthday, on the 9th, when I was back in therapy, when I was downing a bottle of pills when our grandmother was here back in Christmas and stuff. It's an ongoing battle with me. I seem to can't find happiness anywhere. But the next situation is going to be much different, right? Well, they think that I'm just a habitual liar. People will believe it. People will see it. What comes out of your mouth is what's in your heart, which doesn't, right? It doesn't matter to them. My dad thinks it's a joke. My own dad doesn't even expect to respect anybody. He respects, oh, well, if you do him wrong, he doesn't want any part of you. Well, recently he's been meeting with random people from like 10, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 13 years ago, whatever. And you know what? I'm grateful and happy that I know them. But it's not okay to put someone in a tussle just because they're under the influence of something, right? If they took me in, I'm not under the influence of anything because you know what? That's just the way it is. It's anger that is eventually going to evaporate and separate. But for me and our family, it just seems to keep going on. One possibility that will ever change is if I change it, right? But there's nothing I can do. There's no changing. I sometimes don't even know if I'm going to wake up, so I have to stay up all night. And I've had Murray and multiple friends that come over here, and all they want to do is sleep off, right? Well, it's fine to have friends. It's okay to have family. But if now they're doing you wrong, now questions come into consideration that, is my physical or safety okay? Well, it's up to that person. My safety bell goes off the moment that you piss me off, and I have to start scavenging, and I have to start telling you or barking at you and telling you that you're wrong. And even if I'm wrong or right, I need to own up to my actions. And so I own to my actions. I have multiple things that are going on that I can't deal with. My dad thinks that I'm just crazy and I can't do anything right. Now, when I am doing something right, he thinks I'm just acting out. He thinks I never have him. I don't even have a personal misunderstanding. He thinks that there's just something wrong upstairs, right? Well, I don't care anymore, right? And that's what my dad's going to tell you. I don't care about them. I don't care. I only care about me, so I should just keep the focus on me. No. What does God say? God says care for the people that are around you and support yourself. Put yourself in a support group, making sure that you're going to end up learning more about Jesus. Does it say, let's start fighting. Let's start a reaction. Let's make a train of events to end up going on. I can't sit down with them because all they do is explode at me. My dad does. You piss off mom, she's going to tell me to leave, and hopefully I don't get in trouble with the law. Yes, I used to drink. Well, they think that I'm still drinking or I'm not okay. And obviously, if you see this picture, they're going to say, oh, well, that's just the way it is. Right? It's not even looking at this picture. It's just, what are you going to say? Right? They think it's just a bunch of jokes. When you can even realize everything that is wrong here. What do I have to do for someone to respect me, right? Well, this is a game, and you know what? I don't care. In their minds, they think it's the same pattern in place and the same reaction. The reasons why I can't live at home is because dad takes advantage of every single conversation with every single person. It doesn't matter if he's at church, right? All the reactions and the reactions of dad getting angry and being very upset, disappointed, the choices, can't live in the same place, also taking this picture after a shower, knowing that the video I told you before you even left, my phone, so dad's going to end up trying to use filming or the recording to try to put me behind bars because that's all he cares about, right? If he cares any bit about me or my brothers or anybody in this family, he needs to end up taking safety precautions, safety measures, and he needs to start taking his medicine and stop hitting the bottle. He doesn't want me to listen. That's the thing. He demands everybody else everything that's wrong with them. And then when they're ready to confess, well, it's an ongoing battle. Nobody's right in that conversation besides dad. If dad wants to ever live with me, he says it's my issue. Okay, we all have issues and we all have stuff that we've been hiding, and we're obviously keeping it because we don't want people to know. And obviously I'm going to make that video too. So what's the point of even trying? The point of trying to at least try to fix this and whatever is to take deep breaths, take up to 5 deep breaths, take your medicine, pray to God, knowing that he's going to set you free, and believe that he died for your sins, was buried, and rose again. But in his life, he says, if you believe on Jesus, you have to add this, right? And he adds certain things to our friendship or whatever. And he holds everything against me. He blames me for losing friends. He blames me for not being able to go to soccer. He holds me accountable for 99% of the things that he ever talked with me about. I tried to have a conversation 2 days ago. It was perfect. Something just kind of clipped, and he's mad because he's obviously 2 hours late from work. And you know what? That's the work. He's mad because people are not doing their jobs, or they're not listening, or they're not focusing. And he says the whole world revolves around him and not anybody else, right? I have issues that he can't end up managing, but he doesn't end up functioning, that the police are going to take me away. And that's the difference about 1% of life. And the percentage in his life is, until you're ready to respond, right? I don't want you to be here. My mom is, we love you enough and we need you to come over because we need to know if you're okay, because you haven't been acting right. And there was months on end that I was not acting right, and they think that I'm hitting the bottle. Everything, they're going to go back to this video and think that I'm the reason. I want them to know that I'm the reason. I want them to know that there's a cause to it. I ask for a Bible verse, dad gives me anger. I ask for, I'm going to go out and meet someone, he gives me anger. He raises his voice. He tells the whole block. He tells the judge that I'm incomplete. I don't understand what's going on. When deeply, who even knows? Not even he knows. I did something wrong. Yeah, cool. Past experiences, relationship, whatever. He thinks I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong about 100% of things I talk about. But when are you going to end up changing your life, mom and dad? When are you guys going to realize that I'm not the only reason that this is going on? My own brother is telling me certain things that I can't. Right? I can't talk to him. We don't have anything in common. He tries to cause me pain. He tries to get in my way. Troubles, the ongoing battles. When am I going to have someone else stand up for us? Not anytime soon. I know that God's the only one. I don't have to have family right now, but one day they will end up regretting their actions, because the actions are going to show everything that's wrong with this family. Our family is disappointing, right? They go to the stream, they end up spanking me. It's a crime in the world. They spank me with a spatula. It's a crime. If I was a little kid, like 8, 7 years old, 6 years old, whatever, and they're still doing this, and the people in the government figured out, they would automatically get arrested. Not because of something that I've done. It's because they're reacting to it. They react because of something that they watch. They've been watching Seinfeld. I've been watching Seinfeld. It's funny, right? This is all a game. Well, if everything's a game to you, mom and dad, I need to get my head straight, and you guys are never going to be able to trust anybody. I don't trust my family. I can't even respect them, right? To their answers, I don't respect anything, right? But when now it's time to end up owning up to my actions, they are telling me, well, Jeffrey Dahmer's this, and Jeffrey Dahmer's not in the scriptures. No, Jeffrey Dahmer came to Christ and Jesus when he was in this prison cell, right, in Milwaukee. And that was just the way it was. They don't have the death penalty. It's the way it is. Troubles are going to constantly get in there. But Jeffrey Dahmer's not a part of this situation. It's between me and my dad. It's between me trying to reach out to God again. It's me trying to read the scriptures. But if all they're doing is agonizing me and telling me I'm wrong, when do I end up getting excited? I've lost so much in my life that I've lost interest to even go play sports. I've lost interest even in spending time with friends. I've lost interest in almost everything. There's a few categories that I'll talk about, obviously, at some point, maybe later on. But I just can't. I ride my bike. I break my bike. I'm a bulldozer. I bulldoze everything. I live my life just like a bulldozer. I bulldoze through life and thinking that it's fun. Not ashamed of it. Actually, it's a common mistake to feel guilt for all of your actions, right? Well, to sum this story up, or to sum this one up, we got in a tussle, we got in a fight, misunderstanding, not knowing when to end up shutting my mouth. Yes, it's my fault. Everything. In their eyes, everything to me. I'm the reason why they have to do things, why they have to go to Vegas, why they have to go and do this. Vegas is not good, okay, for me. Because I just can't. I can't talk to anybody. I can't respect anybody in their eyes. I can't even go to church faithfully in their eyes. What do I have to do? I just can't. I can't blink. I can't see. I'm blind as a bat. They say that I need glasses. Then they're saying that I don't need glasses, and I need to show them why I can't see far distance, or even I can't see. Right? But if I can see 1% of my own bad desires, then what can I unsee? Nothing. My dad is he's not a fighter anymore. He used to be in the military for 20 plus years, right? And we're thinking that he's the nicest kid, the nicest dad, and then he one day just shows up and doesn't end up respecting, right? He said he picked me and my older brother up and our other brother because they felt discouraged for things that they have done. And I'm not ashamed for saying this stuff because it is true. They're mad at me, they're upset, they think that I need to just take a breather, whatever. I ask for money, they think it's funny to start fighting. Right? I'm telling you everything, and even if I don't have to remember this, I love my dad. He loves me. But he shows it in the most horrible, disrespectful, 100% wrong. Like, just, he's a total liar in his life, too. There's maybe been one time, maybe 3 times in his life that he's ever apologized and accepted that he's wrong and willing to change it within the next few hours. Like 3 days, whatever. I can't go out on vacation because of him. I can't go anywhere because everything's my fault, right? And that's okay. But if my dad loves me, he needs to realize what real love is. Real love is not treating your kids with the most horrible, one of the worst things by hitting the bottle and then fighting with your kids. He's been doing that as long as 20 plus years, maybe even longer, 30, 35 years, 30, 40 years. Been hitting that bottle thinking it's funny. He gets in trouble at 16 years old. He talks to this pastor. He thinks it's funny, right? He thinks he's just, all right, well, I'll just talk to him. He's not even sincerely honest about when he talks about on his channel. And I don't recommend his channel unless something bad has happened in his life that he's willing to take it off. If he's willing to go to the stream and put me in a headlock and basically almost fight me and choke me to death, then there's nothing that's not going to stand in his way until somebody figures out why I'm making the decisions I'm making. He says I choose what I put in my mouth, what I listen to, what I watch, what I do of this. Well, I will make sure to read the Bible every day, and still, there's nothing. There's not a single second that goes by that my dad's not guilty for anything that he's said or done. He's bringing the plot. He's had the police over there multiple times. He thinks it's funny. He thinks I'm a liar. Okay, whatever you want to say, Dad. I'm just a kid in your eyes. I'm just a 5-year-old in your eyes. You're not any better than me. You're just as a sinner as me. I'm a sinner. You're a sinner. Every single person is a sinner until they come to Christ. And even then, we're sinning every second of every day until we change our life. And I've done that. They don't see any change. They think that I'm more explosive now than I have been since 2018 or whatever. I don't know. But I do appreciate everybody that's watching. Thank you guys for listening. I know it's stupid. I seem to kind of put myself right back in the same place. And happy new month, everybody. This is June. I can't wait. Can't wait to hit that beach side if I even show up, right? This may affect me going to California, for a while. But everybody, keep up a good night, and good morning if you guys are getting ready to watch this. Adios, and talk to you guys soon about another one. Real life, real experience for the next one, too. Love you, Dad. Thank you.